As we all know that Capgemini has changed their pattern this time. So today's topic, today's session that we have taken for you is on spot the errors. So let me discuss little about this new pattern of Capgemini. Then I'll take you to today's topic. So Capgemini has set three patterns for this placement drive. One is pseudocode, second is verbal ability, and thus third is, which is absolutely new, one is gamified. So pseudocode is all about your technical skills. So if you are good in technical skills, you may be able to through it, crack it. Second is about verbal ability. Yes, so this time verbal ability can be very decisive in your pre this first round, right? This elimination round, because gamified is like altogether new thing. We do not know what kind of questions actually they may ask, or it's a very vast category. So let's target about verbal ability. If we are able to focus verbal ability section, I'm sure this is my kind of guarantee, I would say, that you will be able to make through it. Verbal ability section has 30 questions. This is again prediction that 30 questions will be asked in this elimination round, and the time given to those 30 minutes will be 30 questions will be 30 minutes. So you will have to solve one question in 1 minute. Now the categories that the major categories that we see in this verbal ability section of Capgemini. One is the diction category, where two words are given of almost same spelling. These words are called as homophones, same pronunciation, same sound, and you have to select the one. For an example, advice and advise. So one is the noun and one is the verb. So you have to choose one word according to the situation. So this is like a diction thing. Second is again in the word category is spelling. So spelling check, like 4 or 5 words are given, and you have to find out either the wrongly spelled word or the correctly spelled word. So maybe one word with different spellings is given, or multiple words are given with one as wrong spelling. So you will have to find out in either cases. Next is in vocabulary, antonyms and synonyms. So apart from this word exercise, this vocab exercise, another role is there of English grammar. So another section that we have in Capgemini paper is spot the errors. And my dear students, this is spot the error is not one topic. We are in. So there is one myth. I stop myself here with the topic, and I'm sharing one myth. I have seen people using this idea that we will try to read the sentence, and if we find any error if we find any gap in the sentence, so we'll find out this is an error. My dear student, there are errors in the sentence which look like absolutely correct. If you read those sentences look like correct, but they have grammatical errors, and these kind of questions are generally asked in the examination. I have taken some 15 questions today to practice, and yes, so when I say finding out error in those sentences, it is absolutely about your understanding on English grammar. If you are excellent in English grammar, if you are good in English grammar, you will be able to find out error in those parts. Else, you will see those sentences look like correct, and you would mark. If you're not good in English grammar, if you have not practiced those exercises, you would mark option C as no error, because you will not be able to find out an error in the sentence. So on the screen, you can see these 8 topics which I have taken here to discuss, because I have done research on some placement papers. I have downloaded some previous year's placement papers, and in fact the probable papers of coming placement drives, where I found these 8 frequently asked topics. These 8 topics are frequently asked topics. The questions from these 8 topics may be asked. Correct? Now one by one I'll give you a little idea about these 8 topics, then I'll take you to the exercise. So tenses and voice usage, what kind of errors you can see from the tenses and voices exercises. So the errors that I would like to discuss here, or I would like to tell about it for tenses and voices and spot the error. that either the tense is given, tense is framed correctly, but the situation is wrong. So according to the situation means there is a mismatch of situation in the tense. For an example, the situation is talking about the past instances and we are writing correct present tense. I would like to quote an example here is that when one is talking about its schedule or routine, right? So writing schedule and routine, we write only simple present tenses. So if I write this schedule in any of the past tenses, this sentence becomes incorrect. So if I say that I worked hard to prepare to clear Capgemini placement paper, the first paper, uh, every day, right? So I'm writing I worked hard to clear Capgemini placement paper every day or 4 hours a day. So this way, let me write the sentence here. So if I'm writing the sentence, hold on. Yes. So if I write the sentence that I worked hard to clear some paper, placement paper, Capgemini paper or some papers, uh, 4 hours a day or every day, right? So this is like I'm talking about my schedule here. Or when I'm talking about my schedule, so this past tense won't work. This past tense is the wrong sentence that I have taken here. Correct? So this is about choosing the right tense. So what should I write here is work. Simple past, simple present tense. So this way, we should have understanding of choosing the right word in the sentence, the right tense in the sentence. So that's why I told you that we should not use the correct tense in the correct tense. We should not use the incorrect tense, sorry, right? Okay, now another exercises, another topic is correct form of the verb. So what kind of error we can face from correct form of the verb exercise? That a verb is given. So verb has basically, three categories: auxiliary verbs, modal verbs. Modal verbs are also the part of auxiliary verbs. So helping verbs, modal verbs, and main verbs. So when we say modal verbs, so this may be like the again mismatch of main verb with the modal verb or main verb with the helping verb. Correct. So this way, we have to see the error. Yes, I have taken one of the examples of this category also. Redundancy of the word. This becomes very difficult to find out error in the sentence unless you have very good understanding of those words in the sentences. Because the sentence has grammatically formation absolutely correct. The sentence has correct form of the verb. The sentence has correct subject, correct predicate. But the error could be like some redundant word are used. So we have to find out. We have to go through those strategies to understand the redundant word. I have taken one more example here. So I'll show you that example. I have one sentence on it. As I said that these 8 topics are the frequently asked topics in spot the error exercises. So I have taken examples from all of the topics. Parts of speech error. So the sentence may have error of noun, sentence may have error of pronoun. So what kind of error we can see in noun category? There are noun, especially abstract collective noun, which have only just one form, which cannot be written in plural forms, like information. So we cannot write informations. Furniture, we cannot write furnitures, right? Equipment, we cannot write it as equipments, right? So I would suggest you that make the list of these kind of nouns which cannot be written in plural forms. Maybe in the coming examination, maybe in the Capgemini paper, you would see one of the errors related to these kind of noun words. Pronoun errors, what kind of error we can see in spot the error exercises from pronoun, whether the cases of pronoun have been written correctly, like subjective case. So the pronoun case, subjective case is written at the right place. Objective case, possessive case, I'm sure these pronoun categories. I have already discussed about pronouns last time. So when we had last sessions, right? So pronoun categories are subjective cases, objective cases, possessive cases, and reflexive cases. So we should know the correct form of these possession is to subject. Articles, very confusing topic, very confusing topic. So articles is like, maybe in spot the error, maybe in fill in the blanks. So it plays very important role. I've never seen any examination, competitive examination, where verbal ability could be like, one of the criterias, and the question from article is not asked, maybe in the fill in the blanks exercises or spot the error exercises. So articles, we know that we have three categories in articles, in three articles in two categories. I'm sorry, two categories in article: indefinite article and definite article. So indefinite, something which is used not to specify things. So a and an, these two words are indefinite and definite, the article. So we should know where to use a article, where to use the article. But one line I would like to make it clear here for you, all of you, is that we should not use article the unless that noun is being specified. Correct. So if I'm saying that I am working on a laptop, means I do not specify any laptop on which I'm working. It is on any laptop. I'm working on a laptop. But if I say I'm working on the laptop, that means this laptop belongs to me. This laptop shows possession to me, right? So this is like the specific thing. I'm talking about the specific thing, that this laptop belongs to me. Correct. So you should know the usage of correct articles. Then modifying clauses. Yes, so the error could be in spot the error exercises, the error code could be with the modifiers. So modifier is like clauses that modify the clauses, that modify either subject or object. So what do we have to check here in modifying clause? Whether the clause is written at the right place or it is misplaced. So I have example about it. Don't worry, I'll show you the question. Structure error could be another error in spot the error exercises. The sentence is written correctly with subject, with verb, with preposition, with article, with no redundant words, and with correct clauses, but the structure may be wrong. So structure is the parallelism. The sentence, if we are writing multiple categories, please understand, if the sentence has a list of items or multiple categories, multiple clauses in the sentence, then please check its structure, whether all the items, all the clauses are written in parallel structure or not. So what is parallel structure? Tense is to tense. So if I'm writing one clause in simple present tense or present continuous tense, so the parallel structure says the other clause should be written in the same tense. So, for an example, he is writing something than reading something, right? Okay, next is subject verb agreement. Yes, this is the topic I think you people have been trained since beginning for any competitive examination, verbal ability. Like this is the first topic to start verbal ability sessions. So subject verb agreement, that your verb should agree to the subject. But at times, when we say we have just single subject or the simple subject, one can easily identify, one can easily find out whether the verb is agree to the subject or not. But whenever we have a complex subject, multiple words in the subject, so it becomes very difficult to find out whether the verb has been used with the subject correctly or not. And yes, there are examples on it. Comparatives. Yes, this is like a very interesting word, very interesting, category of spot the error exercises. We have seen sentences where we have all the formations are used correctly, correct structure, correct verb, correct other parts of speech, correct tenses, correct formation. But the point is, like, the person is making comparison of two different things. So for an example, if I say that I have seen people using the sentence that in an ego, one says that I have bought a new car, very expensive car, and this is more expensive than you. So here I'm not making comparison between my car and his car, I'm making comparison between my car and the person. So this is like inappropriate comparison. So what can be the right sentence? That my car is more expensive than either your car or yours. Correct? Okay, so now this was about little, or I would say an overview about these topics. I would suggest you please go through the exercises, individual exercises on these topics. They would really help you in cracking the Sketchgemini verbal ability round, right? Okay. Now I have taken 15 sentences just to practice. In exercise, these sentences have been taken from placement papers, and one by one we'll try to find out an error in the sentence, and also we will discuss how can we make the sentence correct. Okay, so the first sentence, you must not. So if I see the subject, you, okay, you must not leave, you must not have leave very early to have reached here so late, no error. Okay, so when we say you must not, here the sentence is correct. Now have, so this is not this is not perfect tense like have, had, and with the third form the verb, but this is yes with modal verb. Let me write something about it here is that the modal verbs, if I say could, should, would, right, could, should, would, must, might also. So if you say these verbs, these modal verbs are the past form of these modals, present modals, can. So could is the past form of can, should is the past form of shall. Now with these present forms we write first form of the verb, right? We write present form of the verbs, that means first form. And with these past forms of modal verbs we also write first form of the verb. You should do this, you should not do this, I would like to tell you, I would do something, I must do something, right? So, or could you pass this, could you do this? So this is like first form of the verb. But with the past form of these modals, when we have could have, should have, would have, must have, we do not use, rather we should never use first form of the verb or second form of the verb. It is only third form of the verb, past participle, right? So here this first sentence has an error of using correct verb according to the modal verb, correct form of the verb. So the error is like this should be past form. This should be must not have left. So this is third form, correct? So I am making these forms in bold so that we can find out, we can highlight the error. So B part of this B part of the sentence as an error. Okay, sentence 2, Kapila, comma, whenever, please understand, whenever we have punctuation, comma, immediate after a subject, after a word, that means the next clause or the next this adjective clause, this next adjective clause or phrase is used to qualify the noun, the word, the subject which is given in the beginning. So Kapila, the most intelligent student. So this most intelligent student is adjective clause to Kapila. Among all the competitors. So if I say till this part we have only the subjective case, Kapila the most intelligent student among all the competitors. Now we have verb here, correct? So this verb, if I'm writing this verb here, I'm making it highlighted, this verb here. So Kapila the most intelligent student. Now this verb qualified. So who has or who have qualified this preliminary exam? Either all the intelligent students or all the competitors or Kapila. So it is only Kapila. So what error we have in the sentence is with this word, with this verb have. So what should be written here is has, correct? So this is part B or part C error. This is part B among all the competitors, correct? Okay, sentence number 3. Sentence number 3, yes, bit tricky, looks like correct sentence. We discussed about the problem so thoroughly on the eve of the examination, our economy, that I found it very easy to work it out. So if we see the sentence has absolutely correct structure, parallelism, all the phrases, clauses are used at the right place. We have correct form of the verb, subjective agreement is also not the case, articles, prepositions, everything is absolutely fine here. But the problem is about the redundancy of the words. So discussed means to talk about. So when we have to talk about and then again about, that means this is redundancy of about here. So how can we write this sentence correctly? We discuss the problem. So we should not use about. I've seen people using about with discussed or discussion, like we have discussion about this topic, right? So this about is redundant with discussion. Next question. The Indian Republic Day fell on 26 January every year. I told you choosing the right tense. Now, when we talk about schedule, please understand this is very common error that we generally make. Whenever we have whenever we have a sentence on scheduling, sentence on truth statement, on a fact, or sentence on routine, sentence on a planner, calendar, we do not use other sentences. We do not use other tenses except simple present tense. So if we have to write this sentence in simple present tense, this fell is not the right form of the verb. Correct? So what should be written here is that first form of the verb in simple present tense, according to the subject, the Indian Republic Day, it's false. Correct? As or es form of the verb with singular subject. I'm sure you know this fact. Okay. Next is the book does not have their cover. This is a very easy example. One can easily identify this error. So it is not necessary that in the examination you will face all the difficult questions, but they may be a little tricky. They may be easy because the time is given to you is like a very limited thing. 30 questions, 30 minutes. So you will have a complete package of easy, moderate, and difficult level questions. Correct. So the book does not have their cover is, so this is a plural case of plural possessive case of pronoun, while the subject is the book. So we cannot write there as possessive case for the book. So it is its cover. So for the book, what could be the possessive case? Its. I have already taken a session on pronouns, and you know those cases: subjective case, objective case, possessive case, and reflexive case, like he, him, his, correct, and himself. So it, its, and itself. Correct. Okay. Next is question number 6. I'm doing the job since the last 10 years. Yes. So whenever we have a tense, specifically, the tense or the sentence that has since and for as prepositions, time prepositions, right? And the sentence is written in continuous form. So please understand, the sentence cannot be written in any continuation form. The sentence cannot be present continuous, past continuous, or future continuous whenever we have these since and for as time preposition time referring prepositions. They talk about some task happened in the past, some task was started in the past, either still continue in the present or it has stopped till the time when I'm talking about it. So these tenses are perfect continuous tenses. So the error here is I have been doing, not I'm doing. So I have been doing. Perfect tense has helping verbs as has been, have been, present perfect, right? Present perfect continuous, has been, have been, doing this job since. Now people may have a problem about since the last also, and I've seen students making mistakes in finding error in the sentences with since the last. One thing I would like to make it clear here for all of you is that when we say duration, yes, for is a time referring preposition which is used for duration, for, and since is for specific time, point of time. So if I say 10 years, 20 minutes, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, we use for as time referring preposition, correct? And when we say the name of all these, 2019, 2020, January, February as month, referring month time, right? And time referring is 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, days, times, morning, evening, afternoon. So we write since with them. But here I have written since with duration 10 years. So my dear students, this is not duration. This 10 years here is not the duration. I'm saying the last 10 years. That means when the sentence is written in 2020, it is talking about the last 10 years, means 2010. correct? So this becomes the point of time. So using the last is since. The error is in part A, not in part C. Next question, question number 7 is spot the error again in the sentence. So Al Gore would sooner to quit his claim for presidency than bear such criticism. So this sentence has one error, and I'm giving you 15-20 seconds to find out an error in the sentence. Please read the sentences carefully and see if there is an error in the given sentence. So the subject is clear. Al Gore would, again the past form of subject, or sorry, past form of modal verb will. Now sooner, okay, so did we see something here is that, you know, some fixed phrases, some fixed patterns, phrases. So sooner is never followed by to. Please understand, sooner is always followed. Sooner is sooner with than. So the error we have here is to, and there are two thans in English, THEN and THN. I'm sure you know the difference between these two. So sooner than THN, or Al Gore would sooner than quit his claim, because you know it is in comparing two things. It is not the time frame, correct? Now the next is Vishwanathan Anand is one of those chess players who attribute his success to hard labor and dedication to the game. The sentence has again an error. So yes, whenever we have a long sentence, either the error could be with modifying clause, modifiers, or parallelism, right? So first of all, you have to check modifier parallelism, then to the pronoun cases. So Vishwanath Anand is one of those chess players. This is correct here. Who attributes this who, this relative pronoun is used to chess players, right? Not to Vishwanath Anand. Had it been punctuation here, Vishwanath Anand is I'm writing something, and then I'm putting comma, and then I'm writing who. So this who automatically will qualify the first word or the subject of the sentence. But when I'm writing who without punctuation, so that is it is considered that this is qualifying the nearest antecedent, and nearest antecedent is chess players. So this who is used for chess players who attribute. So this time this is correct, who attribute. Otherwise it should be who attributes, had it been to Vishwanath Anand, right? So this is to chess players. Now his success is not the correct possessive case, correct pronoun case for chess players. For Vishwanath Anand this is correct. So what should be written here is there. So the right pronoun case should be for chess players, the plural thing. So who attribute their success to hard labor. So the error is in C part with his. The next question is Amar's habit of delaying his work put his friends to lot of trouble, right? So error that we see here is Amar's habit. This is correct. Correct, possession of this word to the subject, right? Noun position is correct. Delaying his work, this is also correct. Amar's habit of delaying his work. Now put verb again according to the sentence is correct, and there is no specific thing is given for past and present. So in fact put has all three verbs same, so this can be simple past and simple present, and simple past and simple present. So put his friends to lot of trouble. So when we say putting something to a lot of things, so it should have like it is with article, fixed article is a lot of troubles or a lot of trouble. So it should not be lot of trouble, it's a lot of trouble. So the error was with or. So this was not given, right? So this was an article error. Article must be written here, and the error is in D part. Correct? Okay. Next is question number 10. I hope this is clear for everyone. In case you have any doubt, you please write it to me on my personal window. I'll explain it to you once again. Or if you need some thorough knowledge on any of the topics, right? Okay, so what is needed? This is very tricky and very good question. I found this question is, I would say 10 of 10. for any competitive examination. What is needed are sophisticated. So now what is needed are sophisticated weapons that will, so this relative noun that is for weapons will help security forces in combating terrorism. So this is correct, absolutely correct. But the problem is, what is needed? This is one clause. And in this one clause, the subjective clause, and in this one clause, for needed, what is the subject and verb is used correctly. So till this segment, this is absolutely fine. Now this are is another auxiliary verb. This are is another helping verb, and this are helping verb is used to which subject, right? What is so what is required for sophisticated weapons? So this, the whole thing, this whole clause becomes the subjective clause now. So what is needed is, what is needed is, so this, the subject is the need, the requirement, and which is in singular thing only, singular subject only. So the error is with this verb, that what is needed is sophisticated weapons, correct? So this is the error in the sentence. Question number 11. Okay, the sentence again has, five parts. So which of the two statesmen do you like most, Mr. Vajpayee or Mr. Bill Clinton? I'm sure you would say that the sentence is correct, right? Yes? Okay. So which of the two statesmen, this is subjective case, do you like? So this is like, the question subjective case. Now subject is you. So which of the two statesmen do you, then like, verb, most. Okay, so when we say, when we use superlative degree of adjective, so that means we are writing it among multiple things, right? So if I say that he is the best student of the class, so that means I am making comparison between two things. One is that his intelligence versus the intelligence of the rest students of the class, right? But whenever we have comparison between two things, so we write more only, we do not write most. So the right sentence should be here, it should not be the most or most, it should be more. So which of the two statesmen do you like more, Mr. Vajpayee or Mr. Bill Clinton? So error is in part D. Correct? Got it? The comparison between two people, Mr. Vajpayee and Mr. Bill Clinton's hands, we should not use the superlative degree most. We should write comparative degree, comparison between two things. Correct? Okay. The climate of Delhi is the climate of Delhi is as bad, if not worse than that of Jaipur. So this is like comparison, this is like fixed pattern of subordinate conjunctions, fixed. So we write, in comparative, in the comparison case of positive degree, as good as bad as. So we cannot write that he is as good like his father, right? So it is as good as his father, right? So the climate of Delhi is as bad as. So we should write here as bad as. So the error is here in part B. Okay, next, the sentence again has those five parts. Now very tricky but very easy. My wife believes she is wiser than she is beautiful. I have seen people stating the error in the sentence is that the two qualities of one person is being compared. So why the second time subject is required? Of course, subject is required because the comparison is between two items, between two qualities of the same subject. So if I write the sentence this way, that my wife believes she is wiser than beautiful. So again, it has, no appropriate usage of words, because wiser is the comparative degree and beautiful is the positive degree. So it does not follow the structure thing. It does not follow the comparison thing. So how can I write? I have to write the comparative degree of both the adjectives, wise and beautiful. And the problem is, if I write beautifuler, so it becomes wrong word. And if I write wise here, and if I write more beautiful, then again no comparison. This becomes positive and this becomes comparative. So what should I write? I write in these cases that instead of writing this comparative degree directly, I can write more. So my wife believes that she is more wise instead of wiser, more wise. She believes that she is more wise than she is more beautiful, right? So when I put more here in the beginning, it makes the whole sentence correct. Okay, next. The international price of petrol, diesel, and other petroleum items have been increasing since January. Okay, again, a long subject, but we have to find out here the subject in the sentence. Something has been increasing. So what has been or what have been increasing? Either the petrol, diesel, or other petrol items, or the international price. So this is international price of these items. So when we have subject, price is the collective thing. So the verb should not be as the plural verb to the subject. So the error in the sentence is that this sentence should have has. The international price of petrol, diesel, and other petroleum items has been increasing, right? The price has been increasing this way because these petrol, diesel, and other petroleum items are add-on to the subject, right? And the last question of the day: hydroelectricity is the cheapest and the safe way of producing electricity in the country. So this is from parallelism. I told you about this structure. So we have this superlative degree of an adjective here, and this is positive case, positive degree. So this is not in the parallel structure, right? Either both the adjectives to be written in positive degree or in the superlative degree. So hydroelectricity is cheapest and safest way, right? So hydroelectricity is cheapest and safest way of producing. So this sentence has this error, right? Now somebody may have the doubt here that why didn't I write article with the superlative degree. So I have not written here article the with the superlative degree because the items with whom I'm making comparison here are not given. He is the most intelligent student. That the moment I write he is the most intelligent student, it takes me to the comparison of his intelligence among all the students, correct? So this way, we were able to solve this exercise. Yes, once again, I would like to give you a little overview about these 8 topics. That yes, please go through these 8 topics. Please solve as much as exercises on these topics. And yes, I'm sure you will feel comfortable for yourself in spot the error exercises. Correct. This is the segment, where we have some kind of logical abilities to use. Right, in vocabulary, either you know the meaning or you don't know the meaning, but yes, there are tricks to remember the meanings, like root words. But in grammar, it's all about practice. If you know the rules, you will be able to find out an error. If you do not know the rule, you will not be correct. So with this, I would like to wind up the session. Though this was a very long session on the thorough discussion of these topics and solving those questions, those sentences. I will be coming with different topics, with different exercises. But yes, with this, the statement, I would like to close the session, conclude the session. That yes, I wish you all the best for Capgemini paper. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.